Hey everyone, it's Rob back here again from On the Road. First of all, I want to give you a huge apology for being absent for the last few months. Life has been pretty crazy, but we are back and we will be releasing a new video every Sunday. So in today's video, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update, tell you what's been going on both in our life and also with the van. And then next week, I'm going to tell you about some really exciting travel plans that we have coming up. So let's get started. Hi, we're James and Rob, and this is our dog Oscar. We love travel in all its forms, so join us on our next adventure as we head out on the road again. So apologies for being absent for the last few months. Life has been really crazy, and to be quite honest, work has completely taken over. It's funny, I'm a business coach and I teach a lot of my clients about working a 4-day week, and in fact for most of this year that's what I had managed to do, keeping my 5th day, my Friday, to work on the road again, to edit the videos, to put all the words together and do the marketing and all the rest of it. And any of you do any of your own YouTube channel, you know how much time that takes. But work got really busy, clients got more demanding, I had a big launch just happening, and suddenly my Fridays got swallowed up. So I need to practice what I preach to tell my clients and start doing it again. So I am really going to try and protect my Fridays so I can work on producing great content for you guys. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much for sticking with us. I promise you there's some really exciting content coming down the line. But let me give you a quick update on what's been going on. And we need to cast our minds back to the beginning of this year or even last year. If you recall, we had an Eldis 150 Majestic, and I will stick a review to that video up there. That's our most popular video, the review of our 150, a very honest review. We really loved the van. We loved the fact that it had a fixed bed at the back and it had all the mod cons that you would expect. But James really didn't enjoy driving it because it was so long, and more importantly, it was so wide. So we decided at the end of last year that we were going to sell the motorhome and buy a campervan. We did loads of research, and in the end we decided that we were going to buy a Dreamer Campervan XL, and again I'll put a link to the video review of that van up here. What we really liked about this van is it had a fixed bed at the back, because I'm not a great sleeper, so having a mattress is really important to me rather than converting a sofa. But it had really clever use of space, so it had this swing out wardrobe, so when you're not using the shower you can use this whole space as a wardrobe, and then when you want to use the shower you swung the wardrobe out, and it created like a complete cordoned off bathroom area with the shower on one side and a toilet on the other. So like that van, it also had a really good use of the kitchen space as well. So we placed our order with a local-ish dealership down in the southeast. I'm not going to mention their name out of fairness. We placed that order in November for delivery in April, and then I was away in South Africa for a month at the beginning of this year, and we'd agreed that when I got back we were going to sell our Eldis 150 motorhome. And so what we thought we would do is we would try and sell it privately first of all, and if that didn't work we'd put it on Auto Trader, and then if that didn't work we would go to a dealership. Now we had actually been to a few dealerships to get some prices from them, and they weren't great pricing. The valuation wasn't great, to be honest, especially given we know how hard it is to get a van. Now of course a dealership has to make their markup, so you can understand why they're going to give you a lower valuation than if you sell it yourself, but in theory they take a lot of the hassle away. Anyway, we decided we were going to be brave and try and sell it ourselves. So I got back from South Africa, we created lots of nice images, and the first thing we thought we would do is post it on a few Facebook groups to see if we had any interest there, and then as I say, if that didn't work we'd go to Auto Trader. Well, I think we posted it on 2 Facebook groups and got inundated with lots of inquiries, I guess not surprisingly, because the van was pretty much brand new and it had only done about 4,000 or 5,000 miles and it was in really good nick. So we placed it on the Facebook groups, had lots of interest, and then in the end we sold it to a chap from the north of England who has a car dealership, and he sent his driver down to check out the motorhome, make sure it was what we said it was, and then do the transaction, and then his driver drove off back up north with the motorhome, and that was that. Suddenly we found ourselves with no motorhome or no camper van. But we placed that order last November for the new Campervan XL, the Dreamer, and we were expecting it to be delivered in April, so that was perfectly fine. This was February. You know, we didn't particularly want to go out in the dark winter months, so April was perfect. We started planning our year. We booked a few sites, and then we got an email from the dealership saying, really sorry, your van's been delayed till August. And, you know, I know this story is going to be familiar to so many people, so we were really disappointed. And then a few weeks later, we got an update from the dealership saying, actually, it's been delayed till September, October now. So that was around about now. And we reached out to the dealer saying, well, that's no good because we're going to be out of the country. In fact, I'm out of the country for a month in September, October. We don't really want to take delivery in November. So we then are away beginning of next year. And I'll tell you about that next week. So in reality, we wouldn't be able to take ownership of the van until April next year, a year later than was originally planned. So we talked to the dealership about this. They said, well, we'll keep the van for you. And I said, well, given there's been almost a year delay, can we get a deposit back? And he said, nope. And he said, it's in the terms and conditions that you signed, or the piece of paper that you signed saying no refund. And I said, well, also that piece of paper also says that the van will be delivered in April, and here we are in September and October, and we still don't have a delivery date for it. But he was adamant he wasn't going to give us a refund. So I took a bit of legal advice about this, and their view was that they aren't able to deliver the goods when they said within a reasonable timescale, so you should be able to get a refund. But of course, we didn't want to go down any kind of legal route because that's going to get messy and potentially expensive. So I spoke to the dealership again and said, look, this is our situation. How can we get a refund? How can we get this to be amicable for everybody, given that the dates you're giving me keep changing and they're still estimates? So he said, well, look, if we can get a new buyer for your van, we will give you your money back. So I said, okay, fair enough. It shouldn't be too difficult to resell the van, a brand new van, because there's such a shortage at the moment. Next few weeks, this van's not on their website. A week later, it's still not on their website. So I reach out to the dealership, say, well, you know, are you actually advertising it because it's not on your website? And he's like, oh, sorry, we're meant to be on our website. So then it appeared on their website, then it disappeared again. So I'd hassle them again. And it was clear that they weren't that motivated to sell the van because A, they already had our money, and B, whenever it arrived, we were committed to buying it. Really frustrating. Anyway, in the end, to fast forward to the end of this story, I managed to sell the van for them because it just so happens that someone in one of the Facebook groups put a post saying, does anyone know where I can get a Dreamer XL from, because we've looked everywhere, there's nothing available until 2023-24. So I contacted that person and said, well, as it happens, we were buying one. This is the situation. I can put you in touch with the dealership. That's what happened. And they ended up buying the van and putting their deposit down. So we eventually, 2 or 3 weeks later, got our deposit back. It's amazing the excuses they give you. They wouldn't do a back transfer. They would only send a check. Of course, the person who signs the check was out of the office for 2 or 3 weeks. So it was like delay. So there was at least a month where they had our £5,000 deposit plus the new buyer's deposit. Just shocking, really. And anyway, we got the check. Paid it in, the money cleared. And it's really interesting because we weren't able to negotiate down on price, as you can imagine, but we had negotiated a few extras, including like a bike wrap and solar panels and an awning. And it turns out that they resold the van at a higher price without any of those extras. So I hope the buyer isn't listening to this, but I guess that's just the state of the market. Anyway, so that leaves us in a position where right now we have no van, and we're not entirely sure what we're going to do next, because as I've been hinting, we're out of the country quite a lot for the rest of 2022 and then the beginning of 2023. So we decided we would take stock when we got back and make a decision of what we're going to do next. Meanwhile, just to reassure you guys, first of all, again, thank you for sticking with the channel. We will be posting a video every week. The sort of focus of the channel will broaden out a bit to more general travel, and we're going to share reviews of our travels and our experiences and what we think of the places and the places we stay and so on. But we're also going to continue to do van reviews as well, and accessory reviews as well. So I really hope you will stick with us, and I hope you'll enjoy the more broadened format of covering all of our travels. Now, talking of that, in next week's video, I'm going to tell you all about our travel plans for the rest of 2022 and our travel plans for the rest of beginning of 2023. And then the following videos after that will be the actual videos of us on our travels. So again, thank you so much for sticking with us. I really hope you will keep watching the videos, and I hope you'll enjoy them. And of course I will update you on the shenanigans regarding whatever our decisions are with our van. But other than that, I'll see you next week as we head out on the road again.